continue the conversation on technology and real estate. I'm going to turn to one of the world's major global investors in real estate, GIC, where Kokwat serves currently as the chief. Perhaps give us an overview of the organization.
GIC is the Singapore's sovereign wealth fund. The notion that technology has the capability to enable and advance. Vital to think about how you can harness the power of technology. The long term, you've got to be out there spotting winners. How certain spaces may no longer be as relevant. A defensive point of view, what do you do to actively manage those assets, upgrade those assets, or in the extreme case, to dispose of those assets? Now, there's a third component that's equally important, excellence. And that's why we call the framework ODE, offense, defense, excellence, right? And that's about how can you harness technology to make what we are doing even better, more efficient, such that we become the most efficient organization, even from an investing process point of view. The question really is, today, can we all be involved, say, in the business of investing without a basic knowledge of how data works? Think in traditional terms about what a technologist does. Today, things are so integrated that it is hard to imagine a technology person without a basic knowledge of how the business works. We first picked up this notion when we visited with quant managers who are really in the forefront of integrating technology with their business. And in those firms today, you find that technologists very often sit side by side with the investing people. Not only do they sit side by side, the most valuable people are very often the technologists with a working idea of how the investing business works. And the most valuable investing folks are the people who have a basic knowledge of how data works. And so as in GIC, as we see into the future, we think that it is extremely important that we begin to develop a new generation of investing people who are data capable. And we think about developing a new generation of technologists who are investing knowledgeable. In the future, those two worlds are going to merge. And as one thinks about compensation, and as one thinks about career mobility, and as one thinks about deployability of people, one needs to be a lot more. Ago, when I was visiting with venture capitalists as well as startup companies in the Valley, they told me that the most sought after people now, particularly in the investing world, are investing people who has a deep knowledge of technology. And likewise, in the technology world, those people with the knowledge of the business are the most sought after, and they are probably the highest paid people in the Valley. So you're right, eventually it will have to flow into compensation. Right now, that group of people is extremely scarce. And if you can find one of them, you should probably grab them.
The unicorns, right?
Yep. Yeah. And if you can't, you've got to create that base over time.
Opportunities on the real estate side.
Yep. So this is one thing that we realized, right? In most organizations, as you organize yourself into specialist groups. So the technology people are investing in technology, the real estate people are investing in real estate, and very often it's hard to make people share what they see in the marketplace. And we find that this is key. While we think about picking winners, while we think about what do we need to do defensively about companies that are going to be disrupted, and while we think about using technology to enable ourselves, we realize that the trick really is to make sure that the three different bits talk. And if they don't talk, information don't flow. If information don't flow, you end up optimizing at the respective bits rather than in the sum of the parts. And so today we have put in place processes, put in place the ability for people to talk. And part of that, I want to come back to what William from Microsoft said earlier. we've got to figure out, right? Will that corner office allow conversation to flow as freely? Or will the design of the space, and this comes back to design of space, as well as how real estate and physical spaces impact human behavior. And this is probably one of the things that in the real estate space is going to be extremely exciting.
Right. Now, you work with a global network of partners, developer partners, investment partners, so forth.
With this round of innovation, the notion of machine learning, machines writing algorithms rather than humans writing algorithms, is going to fundamentally change the landscape. And that's why I think that if, as collectively as an industry, we should really